Hey there, welcome to another Tuesday night watch talk. I am Bobby Legs, and I'm joined tonight by my good friend Ra, and he hasn't been here in a while. So, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Life has been wacky. Family and work got me running
Yeah,
all over the place.
yeah,
Uh,
I
Most of my
hear that.
family lives out of state. Well, actually, all of them do. So,
Mine too.
so when something happens, you're on a
Yeah,
plane.
yeah,
You're on a plane, and oddly enough, the ones that have been keeping me running around the most are my two kids, who are about 30, 40 feet away right now.
yeah,
So
yeah,
they take up the most time. But
yeah.
it's
No,
good to be back on. That's for sure.
I hear you. My kids, they seem the older they're getting, the more and more time
Hmm.
they take up, you know what I mean? So this is like a nice little reprieve. I get my son in bed,
Hmm.
and I'm darting down here to get the stream. When he was younger, I had much more time, you know what I mean? Go to bed 7:30, and then I have nice time to relax, watch a little episode, some TV with the wife, and then get on a
Hmm.
stream. But now it's just like they want to be, you got to read them like 10 books, and you got
Oh yeah, at
like,
that age, yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So, but I enjoy it. I do enjoy it. I do enjoy the one-on-one time I get with him,
Hmm.
and my wife and I, we switch off. So like so tomorrow night I'll go in with my daughter, and she's 3.5, so she's a little hard to get focused. But
Right.
yeah, once we're reading it, it's very very sweet.
Hmm.
So what are you wearing on wrist tonight?
I'm wearing my new daily. Um, a JLC Polaris Memovox, which I've been wearing like every day. I had the
Awesome.
regular Polaris,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
yeah, and I love that watch. Like it was a
Yeah,
great watch.
yeah.
I wore that thing all over the place,
Hmm.
and built up a great relationship with it, hiking, camping, like everything, everything. But in the back of my mind, every time I saw the Memovox version, which with the alarm, I was like, wow, that's the
That's the
I
one.
should have just tried for
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
and it's just something in the back of my head just gnawing at me, even though I love the watch on my wrist, right? I loved it.
yeah,
And I was like, so you know what? I'm just gonna, if it comes up, it was like a sign from God. I was like, if it comes up, I'm just gonna go for it right
yeah,
away.
yeah.
Like 2 days later, bing, one pops up, and I was like, oh. So I'm on the phone, and I'm like, yo,
Yeah,
hey, I got a Polaris. I'm gonna send it to you. Just
yeah,
take it. Just take it.
yeah,
I'm gonna get that one, and I don't care what happens.
yeah,
People were telling, well, it's pretty thick, and it's thick. I was like, don't care. This watch has been running around in my head, kicking around in my head forever. I was like, I gotta get it. I gotta make the
yeah.
move. And then I'm so glad I did, because now I'm like, this watch is never leaving. It's like
Wow,
never. Like
that's
this is it.
awesome.
It's staying forever.
You know, the last time, and it's been quite a while. It's been months and months. It feels like
Mhm.
like at least 6 months since you've been on.
Yeah.
If I don't know if that's accurate or not, but it feels that way. You know, what I like about you, Ron, and how you view your collection. You're very you definitely put a lot of thought, right? Because you
Yeah.
like to keep a smaller collection, right? If I'm right,
Hmm.
if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Um, and so like your process is somewhat a little methodical, right? I mean, like, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I don't want to have too many of the same, and
yeah, yeah,
and it's something that I go over every night because I have a list,
yeah,
and I go over and say, wait a minute, well, I don't know about this. Well, this one I really need to see in the flesh before I jump on it. I don't know. Drive into LA and just check it out because I don't
yeah,
want to. Yeah, there's
yeah,
a lot of I don't knows. And one thing I learned, even when I bought the Polaris, first I thought to myself, like, well, there's a Memovox running around out there. And it was like it's like limited edition, one of 1,000. And I thought, well, when am I going to run into that? One of a
yeah,
thousand. Jail, they're all gone. So, but I've learned that the smallest thing can become a really big thing down the road. So if you're looking at something right now, you don't even have it in your hands, but there's just something about it. Like, I don't know how I feel about that bezel. It's a little, yep. Nope. Don't buy it. Nope. Uh-uh.
yeah,
Uh-uh. Nope.
yeah,
Out. Out. Cause that's
I
just
agree
going to
with
get
that.
even worse once you have it on
Yeah,
wrist.
yeah.
yeah.
So,
I got another question for you, but let's just segue into Dan real quick here, and then go into chat, and then come back to the something I've been curious about with you for a while now, and I just want to see where you stand with it.
mhm.
Um, what's up, Dan? How you doing, buddy?
Hey,
How, so, what are you wearing on
oh,
wrist? Just like,
Today, Speedy Tuesday.
oh
So
yeah, yeah,
yeah, still
very
got
nice.
that
Oh,
one.
all right, there you go. So, what's up, man? Like I heard something. I heard there was something new.
Well, you were teasing me about what I'm gonna get next, and it
Not
was
knowing that
just
you're getting anything next. Not, I was just
well,
teasing.
you were just teasing me, so I kind of teased back that I already got something, but it was just I got a Formex, but it was not the whole watch. I just got their clasp and the
Oh, you got
strap.
the class. Okay, okay,
So I was kind of teasing you back, but
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I was still kind of, I mean, because their clasp is pretty expensive. I mean,
yeah.
just the
But it's
clasp
good. But
without
it's a good class. Our friend Chaz put it on his gray side,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I kind of consulted him if I should pull the trigger because it was like including shipping, it was like over $200 for the strap and the clasp. Yeah,
Mm,
it's pretty expensive.
mm, yeah. But if it's worth it, it's worth it, right? I mean, like,
Yeah, because I mean, this is gonna go on the Breitling Aerospace. The deployant that Breitling has for it, I don't like because it's friction fit. So like it's easy to kind of like pop off by accident. And then
Mm.
this Formex has it's like one of the only ones that has on the fly micro adjust
hmm
built into the clasp for a strap because it's pretty uncommon. So I pulled the trigger on that, and it's like the one that I got is like carbon fiber, so it's all like lightweight and whatnot.
yeah. So, questions for both of you guys. Would that bother you, cross branding a class with a watch? Like, I'm sure the class has Formix on it, right?
Right. So the one that I got is like carbon fiber. I mean, it's basically plastic, but I mean, it's all black, so you can't really see the branding.
Mm,
They're steel ones. They do have their logo, so it's kind of you can
yeah,
get ones that don't say the actual text, but just the logo, so it's a little bit
yeah. A
more
little bit
subtle.
different. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but the black one, you really can't see it at all.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm okay with
Ra,
it.
is that the deal breaker for you, Ra, or does it
Uh,
matter?
Initially it was, but then once I started getting into custom straps, where a lot of the times you're getting
Hmm.
a
Yeah,
clasp with nothing on it,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
Mm,
like, I'm fine with it now.
I'm fine
yeah.
with
I'm
that.
fine with it now.
I would totally be fine with that. It would take me a little bit getting used to get
Yeah.
like something that has like a buckle or clasp with a different brand,
I
a
think it
watch brand.
depends on the clasp too,
Yeah,
because if you
true.
got a subdued watch and you really like one of those blingy Breitling uh, bracelets,
Yeah,
huge Breitling on it, thing
yeah,
like that, I couldn't live like that because
yeah,
just every time you look at it, so But
yeah. But look,
if it's something more subdued and it looks like it goes with it,
mhm.
yeah, why not?
But if look, if I got a Seiko, like this is where it doesn't, my logic doesn't, follow through. Like if I had a Seiko and I got like an Uncle Seiko bracelet on it that may have an Uncle Seiko branding on the bracelet, like that wouldn't bother me.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like I don't
Yeah.
know, but but if I had like an Omega and then I put like a Breitling bracelet on an Omega and I said Breitling and that is a violation.
It depends. If it's like the whole clasp, like the if it says
Yeah,
Breitling across the whole clasp,
yeah,
then yeah. But if it's just
yeah,
like a B, just and that's it,
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's jump into the chat and let's see, chat. Let us know what you think about that cross branding stuff. Oh, before we get going, I have my wearing the
chicken.
Citizen, the chicken watch, affectionately called. Sino is here. Hey, you doing, Sino? What's going on? Paul saying that Dan bought a Formex. He was right. Hey, Marcel, what's going on? He's wearing his UN diver tonight. I saw, we may touch on like some deals that we saw today because it is like an Amazon Prime Day and some of the
Oh yeah.
other platforms are participating. I saw on Delray a nice UN diver for around $4,800. I thought that was a pretty good price. But I'm not as familiar with UN um, as some, so I'm not 100% sure. It just looked like a good price to me. James is here. How you doing? Wearing his vintage Longines today. Keith is here. Kevin is here. How you doing? Sino saying he's double wristing tonight. 300 bronze, gold on the left, and Pelagos FD on the right. So he's got an
Nice.
Omega and a Pelagos on. Very nice.
The bronze gold is gorgeous.
Absolutely. Underachieving watch collectors here. Pale Horse is here. Hey, Bill K. Amin, what's going on? Amin recently picking up a nice little Grand Seiko. Kevin S is wearing a Seiko 1,000 meter tuna tonight. The tuna has caught on in our circle here in popularity. Steve is here. How are you? Hey, AZ Clayton, nice for you to join us. BJ's here. We are doing well. Romy, Boise, Idaho in the house tonight. Okay, nice. I've never been to Boise. I've driven through northern Idaho to get from Montana to through Idaho to Washington State. So the Coeur d'Alene, I think, is a nice little area. I think I'm saying that right.
Hey there, Romy. It's good to see you.
Yeah. Oh, you know Romy? Yeah.
Yeah, I know him personally. We went out to dinner a few months ago.
Oh, nice. Were you in Boise or was he in?
He was down here in the desert.
Okay. Hey, Watch Medicine's here, Bobby. What's going on, sir? Let's get over here. Mr. Cassioc is here. Caliber YQG is here. Stefan is here. AJ is here. Young Excellency, what's going on, sir? The Classic Gamer. Where is the link for the meeting? All right, you're on it. Pascal is here. Who wants to have a 6 with me? All right. Maybe I probably shouldn't have read that one. I don't know what that means. KR Joy is here in Chicago for a couple of days. Hey, Random Rob is here. What is up? Thanks for coming by. Justin's here. How are you, buddy? Lord Lofi is here. Rob is saying here, I've had some watches surprise me with how much I like after giving them a chance. I never dismiss any of them. Okay. Scrolling down. Neff is here. What is going on? How are you doing, sir? Let's see. Oh, Sanjay is here. Hey, what's up, buddy? Nice to see you. Brownie is here. How are you, Brownie? James is saying that I rarely cross-brand straps, so a cross-branded class would bother me. Okay. Romy saying I've got a Tudor BB steel and gold chrono with leather on wrist tonight.
Nice.
Excellent. Very nice. Like that. I love that watch. Justin saying cross the streams. Egon told us that and is a cardinal sin. He did. He did. Great movie, by the way. Sanjay, do you know what movie that's from? Let's see if he does. Ooh, time hell. Steve is wearing an Urban Jurgensen. Urban Jurgensen? Urban? Yep. Urban. I always have a problem saying that one. Hey, Weyben. Nice to see
easy.
you. Yeah, I guess it is. I don't know why. Sometimes I have a.
It's like Yomasha, but Jurgensen.
It's like Yomasha. Yeah, Jurgensen. Right. So back to you, Rob. Okay. So I believe the last time we talked, or last couple times we talked, you had something in mind, right? I think for a big occasion. I think it might have been your 50th birthday or something like that. You had something planned or something for a special occasion, and it was the Moser Heritage.
Mhm.
Is that still in your thoughts? Have you moved from that?
I moved on from it. I
you
looked
moved-
at I love the watch itself,
Yeah.
and that dial, the funky blue, which was the one I was looking at.
Yeah.
Wow, it's like from another planet. But I just couldn't get the lugs out of my head. I'm not happy with the way the lugs are.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They look a little.
What don't you like about it?
They just look too thin and dainty for the watch itself. You know, I mean, it's just something that seemed too thin. It just wasn't a good look for me.
Yeah.
And I knew that if I got it, I was like, it's something that every time I look at it, you know, the lugs are just gonna staring me right in the face. And I know it's all psychological, but I just couldn't. I couldn't move on from the lugs. Couldn't move on. I still look at them from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gorgeous watch, but you know, maybe when tastes change, then I'll like, hey, you know, maybe I'll jump on it.
So you're talking about these,
now,
these little wire lugs, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Oh, okay.
Don't like that at all. Yeah, but I mean, look at the watch itself. Christ, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But
How
let's
about the Pioneer? You don't like the Pioneer?
no. Mm-mm.
No. Okay.
Like there are two Mosers that I like. That one, and then the Streamliner, which is so far out of my budget, it might as well be
Yeah.
on the freaking moon.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
and even if I was rich and I bought it, like, hey, let's just get a Streamliner. Um, I have this thing in my head where if I go over a certain dollar amount for a watch, like I'm gonna start being careful with it, and
Mm,
Yeah.
like I
hmm
don't
I'm the same.
know,
I'm the same.
I can't do it. This watch costs 50 grand, right?
Right.
Can't do it. Where throwing an Omega, and I'm like, okay, let's go whitewater rafting. Like I want to
Yeah.
be able to
Yeah.
do that with all of my watches. So
Yeah.
that one's just gonna remain a dream,
Yep. I mean,
until something happens in my head, So
yeah, Clean has this watch, and he says the lugs are very strong. You were in my head a few months ago. We had gone to um, Watchbox as a
mhm,
group, and around that time I was on eBay on their store, their Watchbox, the Godberg store, and
mhm,
they had one of those, and I had half the idea of trading in a couple of watches to pick that up. I at first wasn't crazy about this, and then it grew on me, and then you definitely influenced me at some point, and I was just like, yeah, I think this. I mean, I see it now. I see what Ra is saying now. This is before you had the change of heart with the lugs, but
mhm.
um, I mean, this watch is beautiful,
Yeah,
um,
that is.
I like
and
the red one. I like the red one.
the
Oh
red
yeah.
one's pretty nice
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is a dual time, right? And it's got
Yeah.
a date. I do like the simplicity of the center seconds though, the blue.
Mm-hmm.
Um, although is that, yeah, this one right here. Um,
Yeah.
just really nice, simple. I love that font.
Hmm.
Yep.
I've seen that font on an IWC, um, and um, and I just really like the way it look. And then maybe it's similar to some of the font to the font that you see on a Zenith Type 20, and
Hmm.
I really dig it. And I think that's what really pushed me towards it. But then I was just like, at that point, the watches that was going to have to trade in, at the time I wasn't um, comfortable doing so. And but it's a great watch. And if I go Moser one day, if I can, get to that point where I'm ready to pull a trigger on a Moser, like this is a candidate. It's either
Yeah.
this one or like a pre-Milan Moser, would be the candidates for me.
Hmm.
Um, but did the Polaris, the memo box, did that take the place of the Heritage?
Yeah. Yeah. Once I put it on and started wearing it, and I knew like 2 hours in, but I feel this way about every watch. This is the watch. This is the watch. But this one really stuck.
Yeah.
It's been a while now that I've been wearing it, and I'm like, I don't want to take it off. And I was talking to another horology talk member on over Facebook in DMs, and I was like, I don't know which way to go now. Like it
Hmm.
totally changed, the the watch landscape for me.
Yeah.
So it like just I didn't expect that
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
happen. It
Yeah.
did. So now I'm like, well, every watch I buy after this, or the watches I have now, everything is like secondary. So I'm still gonna put my psychotic level of thought into every single watch,
Yeah. Hmm.
but in the end, I have this one. Like this is the one that I really wanted.
Right.
So everything
Yeah.
else is just gonna be something on the side,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
have.
Ah, I mean that's awesome, man. I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
It,
I mean,
it caught me off guard. So
I
really
think
good.
I'm the closest I am to that feeling is probably like with my sub,
Hmm.
but yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a sub though.
yeah,
That's like,
yeah,
well, there you go. That's like the watch.
yeah. Um, hey Ken, checking in from Pittsburgh. How are you?
Sorry, got a cat. Excuse me.
Yeah, I got one of those too.
Too.
Oh, good.
Neff says I always think about watches long term with lugs like that, or say Breguet. How many times can you polish them before they're just gone? Um, I like the purple one
Uh,
with the Roman.
You'll probably like it's gonna be a lot. You'll be dead.
Yeah,
So it'll be your son or daughter's problem at that point.
right, right, right. Uh, okay. Okay. So I want to take a look at some. If we have time for some of the deals that we've seen, I'll bring up at the end. But I do want to talk about some new releases, and there's one in particular that I kind of feel I have to admit to you guys and the guys in the chat that I may be a little bit of a hypocrite, and which is
okay.
no surprise, right? Um, so about a week or two ago, we did a stream. Dan, you were on it, and Amin was on it about Furlong Mari, right?
Mm,
And kind of slamming Furlong Mari for a couple of reasons. One in part, there seemed to be a lot of people or influencers who were promoting and the brand and talking about how great it was and whatnot. And meanwhile, and there's more to that our argument, but I'm just trying to paraphrase a little bit. But meanwhile, their designs are just like Baltic, kind of like a mesh of some of the classics, and it's not really necessarily any kind of originality involved in it. There was another release that came out a day or two. It may have been today or yesterday, from a big brand, and I think it may be borrowing from their vintage catalog or the catalog. I'm not sure, but I love it, and I can't til you if I'm not really sure if I'm a hypocrite or not. Here. So let me just pull it up, and that is
is that Tissot?
the
What
new
is it?
TSO.
Hmm.
Like if you
Ooh.
took away that Tissot in the middle and put on Furlong Mari or Baltic, I could have been like, okay, that's a Furlong Mari or a Baltic, right?
Mhm.
But why am I feel like I'm giving Tissot a pass here and saying that this is okay? And is that hypocritical?
I
It
mean,
happens. Yeah.
a little bit, but not grossly. I think it's okay. It's good to be aware of it, especially if you're denying it. That's when it gets bad. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I like this one too. Um, I saw it and I was like, oh wow, that's like because it's similar to the Omega that came out earlier.
Right.
Mm.
Like dial design, that really busy intersecting Venn diagram. Um, yeah, I mean, I like it. It's busy as hell. Like I would never buy
Hmm.
one because it's
Hmm.
just not that legible. But I think it's good looking. I would rather get this than the Omega because the Omega is like crazy expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The
Um,
chronoscope looks good, but there's something on the dial spacing that just seems a little off. I think it might be. It's rare for me to say this. I think it might be too big. If they had made it a little smaller, I think the dial might look more proportional. But this one I like. This is like a re-release of their Gennaro,
Yeah.
which
yeah.
is one of their vintage ones, and I've always loved it. So as soon as I saw the Omega, I was like, oh boy, that's on the list.
Yeah.
And then I started looking at it and I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
it's a little bit, but this is always well done. TGV had one, and every time he showed it on TV, I was like, wow, that thing is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about the busy dial one bit. I was like, I'd wear it in a second.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
I
gorgeous
do like it a
watch.
lot. I do like, and I know that the chat is saying that this is a reissue or re-release. Um, so they're taking something from the from their playbook, right? And but does that make it okay? I mean, is it any different than Baltic or Full On Mari putting together
Yeah,
a
I think it
mesh?
is because they were doing this first.
Right.
So you can be like, hey,
Yeah,
I got the original. I don't care
but
what
does
anyone
that
else does
mean
after
that
that.
no new brands can borrow design cues from any past designs? Like that seems silly.
Hmm.
How many ways can you make a round thing strapped to your wrists?
Yeah.
Right.
No,
How many ways can you do
absolutely.
a bezel? There's only
Yeah.
so many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, thanks for joining us, man. I
Hey,
appreciate it. Appreciate you
Hey,
coming in.
how's it going,
Um,
guys?
Hey, how you doing?
Talking about the new Tissot reissue or re-release. I am feeling a little bit unsure if I'm a hypocrite or not because I was slamming Furlan Mari, I've been slamming Baltic, and for watches that similar in design or borrowing a lot from other people and putting it together and then selling them, right, which is not a problem. It's I have more of an issue of like people like Waco and some of the influencers touting these watches as the next great thing and that these guys as the next great as designers when I just don't think there's anything original about it. The watches are good for what they are,
Mhm.
and let's just keep it at that and not like just blow it up undeservedly in my opinion. But I guess Tissot, picking up some from something from their previous playbook is not as egregious in my opinion. But liking their new design, liking this, liking the PRX Chrono. You've had that PRX Chrono in hand, Chris.
Yeah.
What do you think about that watch? I think it looks great.
It's on the thicker side. So if
Hmm.
I had to complain about something about that watch, it's on the thicker side. It's I think in the neighborhood of like 15 and change millimeters
Yeah,
thick, almost 16 millimeters thick. But the quality is there. It's
yeah.
I think Tissot they're doing a great job, in my opinion. I think they're doing some pretty cool stuff.
I agree. I mean, for me, 15 millimeter thickness on a chrono is not a deal breaker by any means. I've had some chronos that are approaching 17 millimeters, and it was just fine with that. I guess it just depends on the other specs, the other proportions that are associated with it. Um, I've had the PRX quartz. I have the Powermatic 80 in hand. Just great watches for what they are and for what their price point. And man, I really like that PRX Chrono, the Panadol, and yeah, just really good stuff. And I agree. I think they're doing great stuff. I mean, them and Longines in the last year or so have really been knocking it out of the park, in my opinion.
Yep.
Yes.
Speaking of, this is something I saw in one of the groups that I'm in. Someone put up a link and talking about great deals on Prime Day. Now I saw this link and I clicked on it and I'm like I gotta do whatever I can to get this watch, right, because it's a great price. And so there's this Italian website selling this when that comes out to a little bit over $1,000. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. I got to jump on this. Right. And sure enough, I go to the end and I couldn't get it because I had to select a province, and I'm like, well, wait, what do you mean province? And it was an Italian site, so there was no option for out of the country. It was
Uh,
Yeah.
so it was a
Yeah, yeah.
bummer. It was such a
Province, New
tease.
what's the
Jersey.
retail?
Just pray for the best.
What's the
Yeah,
retail on that?
the retail's at what, 1750, I think.
Yeah, 17,
That's a
17 and
that's a good
change.
discount.
Yeah.
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 Um,
It's a beautiful watch. It really is it's a good I love the pushers that they chose to go with. They obviously went with two really popular colors for the dial, which
Mhm.
I mean just makes sense. And then the bracelet on the PRX,
mm,
the the quartz, the
mhm,
the Powermatic 80 version, bracelets are really good, and these are
absolutely,
just as good. So
absolutely.
yeah.
Um, and I know this particular model here gets a little flack because of the rose goldish kind of hands
Mhm.
and indices, but I love it. I think it's great. I think if they went with like a stainless steel or polished steel silver, it would have been okay. But I see it in this and this color configuration. I love it. I
And I
uh,
think it
I love it.
works.
Yeah, I think it works. Yeah, absolutely. Um, I'm in here. Of all the times I don't have my streaming gear, why does it have to be on the night that Rob is apologizing for slamming from Mario? I, I'm I'm not necessarily apologizing. I just didn't know if you know, if I was being hypocritical about the telemeter Tissot while slamming the other ones. Um,
I think Amin's problem with those other two designs is that um, the watch media is praising it so highly, even though
Mm.
it's a cheap watch. It's not really
I have
something
the
that's
when we're talking if you're
groundbreaking.
talking about Baltic,
Yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah.
I have the same problem with Baltic. I say it all the time. I mean, I feel like a lot of people don't realize that they're and I listen, they are nice watches. I've
mhm.
been hands
Right,
on
for the money. For the
yeah.
money.
Yeah.
I think they're actually expensive for the money for what they
Oh
charge.
yeah.
And then they're going for more money on the secondary market. I think a
Mhm.
lot of people don't know that they're homage watches.
Yeah.
They're I do a review on them and people are like, oh, it's great, it's an original design. I'm like, no, it's not an original
No.
design. What are you talking
No,
about?
it's not. Yeah.
This is not an original design.
Yeah.
Fuller Mari, I guess some people know that that's not an original design, but they're
And
they're
Chris,
they're good looking watches. They're
yeah.
very good
Yeah.
looking watches. They're
Yeah.
they're very nicely made. They are overpriced,
Mm.
and the
Mm.
fact that they sell over market value,
Mm.
It's nuts.
it doesn't make any
Nuts.
sense to me. I'd rather go
Yeah.
get the Tissot that you just showed,
Yeah.
any Tissot really, because there's Powermatic 80 Tissots, the PRX that are sitting out there. Okay, people call that an homage. It kind of is.
Mm.
But it's a really nice watch. It has an automatic Powermatic 80. I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
But the number of people that have the chance to go hands on with all these microbrands is very small.
Yeah.
You have more access than most people to getting hands on with a lot of different brands. But if all of you felt were $300, $400, $500 Seikos, and you get this Baltic or whatever, you're like, it's not bad. But then if that same person also tried on a bunch of higher end stuff, they're like, okay, now I see the difference.
I think my biggest problem was the micro rotor one, whatever. I couldn't handle that when they came out with that, and people were like, "Oh, it's an original design. It's
Yeah.
got a beautiful movement." And I was just like, "Well, it's
a Chinese movement.
It's a $25
off.
movement. The design is a lift from pick any I mean, there's so
For
many
gay numerals, right?
Yeah, it's just they went through the parts bin of photocopied a few different brands. I mean, I just saw one on eBay for $1,600, so I'm wrong because people want them. I'm wrong. That's it.
Nuts.
So
Yeah,
I like that. I like it, but it's not worth it. Yeah.
I'd rather buy a pole router. A vintage.
Yeah.
If you want a micro rotor, buy a vintage pole router. You could buy a clear case back for that watch. I mean, you'll spend $2,000, but you'll have horological history on your wrist. It's designed by Gerald Genta. I mean, this is not. This is a watch that's. I mean, nothing wrong with a Chinese-made watch. Nothing wrong at all. Actually, it's probably a very good quality watch, but again, the price point is just wrong for me. If they came in with that watch at $300, I would have bought one.
Yeah, same.
But they put it at $700. That's ridiculous. Other brands selling that movement. Bowderry, which is a Chinese brand that you get on AliExpress, $199 with that movement. Same movement.
Yeah.
So
right.
Mm-hmm.
Peter C saying here, my friends have ruined Microbrands for me. Thanks a lot, Peter. Don't give up on. I mean, there are some Microbrands out there that are well worth their money and are doing great things. I mean, one that comes off the top of my head is, Zelos. I mean, I think now Zelos is not necessarily for me. Like I don't necessarily like most of their style and design, but at least it's mostly original, right? There's a few other models that I do like, but they're doing great stuff with materials and price points, and that now they're pushing the envelope, going a little bit higher and trying something daring. You know what I mean? And that's what I like about a brand like Zelos. Like they're trying, they're trying to do something.
Have you seen the Spearfish?
I have not seen a Spearfish. No.
Hands on. I have one. I'll if you want to borrow it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Love to check it out. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Le Jus Puree.
Yep.
I
Yep.
mean, it's hands down my favorite Zelos to date. And if they come out with a GMT version of that movement, because Miyota is coming out with a GMT version of the 9000 series, and it's going to be a true GMT.
Yeah.
So I'm dropping a video about that on Friday, but that movement, if they start making it in a GMT, the G100, G150 from Le Jus Puree, Zelos will be using that, and we'll get a true in-house Swiss-made GMT from Zelos, and it'll be affordable. So
yeah, awesome. Neff saying here, I have a pole router, beautiful movement. It was my grandfather's watch. They are going up in value. They've been going up in value for a while. I forget that. I don't know if it was TGV or Theo and Harris. One of those guys were pushing the pole routers for a while back.
Theo and Harris, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
Hey, Torrens here, everyday watch guy. Just got my Swiss watch company Hyper G Pilot watch, and it's awesome. Great micro brand for the money.
I like that one a lot. Just from the pictures, I've never handled one, but it basically looks like a Petite Prince Mark 18 titanium Solida movement for $500.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
Roar the Tiger saying, "Hey Bobby Legs, Vario is a worthwhile micro brand. Buy the seller. Ivan and Judy are great. Not too familiar. I think I've had maybe one Vario in for a review a while back. I will give him a look. So Chris, man, it's good to have you on here. It's been a little bit. You know, you are slowly, or not slowly, but I mean, you're becoming one of the hardest working guys on YouTube watch content, man. You're everywhere, man. Good for you, dude. And I what I like about what you're doing is you're going to these meetups. You're doing videos with Chrono 24. You know, how fun is that, man?
That was a lot of fun. You know, we did 2 videos. One was a collection video.
Yeah.
Where we did part of my collection.
Yeah.
And then we did sort of a their watch hunt video where we did.
Yeah. So like
3 sets of 2 sets of 3 watches. So
yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah. And
how big is
cool, like, meeting Tom and just talking about watches I was there for like 3 or 4 hours just talking, BSing. It was great.
How big is Joma Shop?
Huge.
Yeah.
Big. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I got hooked up with Joma Shop, and I'm going to be. We'll see what happens. I'm going to be working with them a little bit more. Maybe helping them with their YouTube channel going forward. So we'll see what happens with that. But we gave away a Rolex, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, I want my $100 back because I was supposed to win that.
Let me tell you something. I was sitting there like we were getting on. I was like standing there. It was like they have this like big room. It's like a conference room.
Yeah.
Windows. They're on the water here in New York, so beautiful view. Really like nice. And I just turned to them. I was like, so I have my cell phone here. When we do the giveaway, can I enter the giveaway? And they're like, no. Can I quit right now? I want to enter this way. I want to walk out. Like that didn't happen.
I mean, the odds were pretty good. There were like 900 people or something.
Oh yeah,
like that.
Yeah, of course.
So 1 to 900 is not bad.
I was explaining this to like anybody who would listen to me, people on the street, anybody. I was like, listen, I'm doing a giveaway for Rolex. I'm sure people there's not going to be, like, if you were doing this normally if they did it through Joma Shop, through their email list or whatever, they would have thousands upon thousands of entries because they have thousands of people on their email list.
Mm-hmm.
People visit, they would enter, you know what I mean? Things like that. This was announced, and the timing of it was very beneficial to the people in the room because it was announced on
short notice.
I think I announced it on Wednesday before
Mhm.
they did, and then
Right.
they announced it on Thursday when we were doing it that night. So it was wild. Like, it was really wild.
Yeah, yeah. That's what Kara Joy is asking.
Nice.
So
So I had. Oh, go ahead. Fine.
So is Yoma Shop gonna continue doing those kind of, forget about the giveaways. I'm just like, they're kind of auctioning off. Are they gonna be doing that more regularly?
I think
On
so. We'll see. I mean, if they do, I'll be hopefully working with them on that, and
yeah,
if not, then But I think they might, and I
Yeah.
don't know if we're going to be giving away Rolexes every
no,
time.
no,
but
yeah,
Yeah.
that's understandable. I think I was watching the auction. I put my hat in the ring. I wanted to get a chance to win that Rolex. Why not? Like the odds, like Dan said. I found it curious, and um, this is not necessarily a critique, although it might be, but it's not meant to. I'm not putting anybody on the spot here. I mean, this is not. I know you weren't in control of necessarily some of the things. It's their product. I found like some of the higher end items when they were starting their bids, they were starting it a little bit too high. Now, I'm not. I wasn't. No, I'm not approaching this as coming from a selfish space where like I was gonna wanted to get a great deal, although that would have been nice. But I felt like some of those items, if they had started the bidding a little bit lower, they would have generated enough bids, and it probably would have carried up, and they probably would have gotten the prices that they were looking for.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I've had this conversation with the guys at Whatnot, who I'm sort of, being sponsored by now.
Yeah.
It's been a great fit because they don't have any influence over my channel. They
Mhm.
don't care what I do on my channel, what I say. So it's excellent. And I had that conversation with them because I go on Whatnot a lot and I sell my watches. I do it and I give away a lot of watches now. I give a lot of watches away on Whatnot. And I've noticed that if I start a watch at $1, I could have ran that watch at $500, and then I run it $1, it sells at $600. So
Yeah.
it's the mentality, I guess people want to, So I
Well, yeah,
buy and I sell a lot of watches. So
Yeah.
it's a good platform for that.
Yeah. I mean, when you have like multiple people competing, right? I mean, it's like a frenzy, right? So like you're gonna get that action on. And look, it was like it's hard to be judgmental or critical here. I mean, it's their first auction doing it that style through that app. Lessons. I'm sure there's gonna be a lessons learned and that kind of stuff. But I think that would have been, they would have gotten, they would have sold the watches they wanted to sell at the price they wanted to sell. And then we saw some some affordables that were going way over what they would have. See, I mean, like look, I know affordables meaning something like under $500. A totally different animal. I get it. But there is something to be seen through that.
I would
Clean. Yeah.
I would say if you're gonna do that again, like the same format, is because I tuned in for the whole 2.5 hours. Like I was like, I'm
sorry.
I'm not missing the giveaway. I'm gonna tune in for the whole time. No, it was cool. We were chatting at the same time, so it was not bad. But I mean, like, you could have easily sold over 100 watches if you picked the right watches.
Yeah.
Like in that time.
Well, Yoma Shop could have. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yoma Shop could have auctioned off, a bunch of desirable watches, like let's say under $2,000. They would have sold every single one if they picked the right ones.
Yeah. Just what AZ Clayton was saying. I agree. I mean, I'm getting involved in Whatnot and I'm helping them in this fashion, try and get these auctions to be a little bit more, I don't know what the word is, but it's
traction. Traction.
Yeah, the problem is that there was it's their first auction and they were trying to do something, and they were giving away a Rolex. So there was a lot of people in the room who were very, very anxious about that. And then, it does get a little bit messy, but I think as they go, they'll learn.
Yeah. Absolutely. I was giving like my kids bath. They're not had the phone like on speaker. Like I was like, Dan, I'm not missing this. And I think like, look, I mean, Yoma Shop doesn't have to give away a Rolex every time, but doing any little bit of a giveaway, will get more people to come. And man, if they just advertise that thing, like do a little bit better job, they can get thousands of people on there, man. It's just
Yeah, but if they sell $100,000 watches, they can give away a Rolex every time, no problem.
well, okay, but I mean, like let's put the Rolex thing aside. I think like
But
this is just a
in my
really good.
defense, if they did that, then I would have been there. I would still be there selling those watches because it would take.
Well, no, you would have to move fast. You would have to be
Yeah.
like
I would
every
have to move a
single
lot faster,
like
and
you
it's a minute per
you
watch.
can't talk about it.
Yeah, that's 100 minutes just for the auctions, and then they have an option where at the end, if it extends, and I mean, I don't know if you guys want to keep talking about this because I'm not sure how entertaining this is for everybody in the chat.
Well,
but
I mean, I think some of us are. I mean, I'm curious about it. You know what I mean? And I think some of us here in the chat are definitely are, because a lot of people in the chat, I was kind of in and out of contact with during this whole process, and we formulated some opinions and thoughts about it. You know what I mean? So I think I personally like this. I think Yoma Shop has definitely maybe opened a door here to another avenue of selling that could be very very fruitful, and getting themselves out more in a social media kind of space. Yoma Shop has been around for a long time, man. I mean, it's been over 20 years. I remember it was one of the first, online sites that I've ever been on to buy a watch, right? And so they have a huge presence, and maybe being around for so long. And this is all speculation, man. I'm not basing this on facts, but like sometimes when you have an older institution, they're slow to make some changes and adapt new things. And I think, and I'm excited to see them do this because I bought many a watch from Yoma Shop, and I've never had a problem. Some people have, most people don't, and I just want them to be successful. So
yeah.
Let's see here. Neff is saying, I just tell my AD I can't walk. My cat ran away. My wife was thrown out of a moving plane and then hit by another plane midair. Okay, love jumping into mid conversations. I have no idea what that was about.
I like it though.
Yeah. Dan, is that the kind of things you were saying at the Rolex ADs this weekend?
Oh yeah, I mean, most of them were kind of dismissive, but like I said, I know my chances of getting one are slim, but yeah.
Yeah. Chris, anything exciting that you've seen lately? Anything that's, meaning that anything that's excited you in regards to releases?
I just got the SSK 003 in the new
What color is
5K
that?
GMT.
What color is that?
I have the blue.
Blue?
That's the blue.
Blue one.
Yeah.
What's the reference? SSK?
The SSK
The new GMT?
003.
The 5KX GMT?
Yeah, I don't know if I have it on my desk. I don't. It's probably on my other desk, but I'm pretty excited about it. It's $475. You can get discounts on them already, I think, and it's a pretty cool GMT. I think, like I said, I'm releasing a video. TVG already did. He had the watches before I did, and there is an embargo which he didn't honor, which is fine. It's actually a pretty big deal, but there is another brand, Bulova, that's going to be releasing a GMT very, very soon, and there it is. That's it. Yeah.
If you wait till you get it back in stock, go to Sakura and you have 351 new.
Yeah, they're. I think they've sold out pretty much everywhere already.
Yeah.
I did get an email from a dealer in Arizona, AZ Fine Time. They've got some in. They've got some in. But that was earlier today. They might be gone. But yeah, no, very
That's a good business too. I would work with them anytime.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I lived out there, and you go in there, cigars and stuff. It's nice.
Yeah. And what's cool about AZ Fine Time, and not that this would apply for this watch, but you get the email and then you can click on the link and then you can make an offer, right? So I doubt their entertaining offers for this one.
Mhm.
But there's been times when I've gotten that email saying we've got this in and made an offer, and they've accepted. You know, so that's what's really cool. That's what I like about what they do. Um, Kevin S. Buy local, uh, and Torrin will be reviewing this as well. Cool. Yeah, no, I think this has generated a lot of excitement. You know, a lot of people are excited about this piece.
There's
Is that
already
a screw down crown or is it a pull?
I don't
no, this is
no,
just
not
a flat
the
cast, no
fives,
screw
right?
down crown.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hardlex
It-
crystal, Hardlex bezel.
yeah,
The 4R34, which is the GMT version. It's not a true GMT. It's an office GMT, which is fine at that price point.
right.
And
Right.
already, I know of at least 3 micro brands that have their hands on this movement already
Oh
and
wow,
have it in a watch.
wow.
That
Really?
will be 2 of them. One of them has been announced. One hasn't announced it yet, but they'll be announcing it very, very soon.
I wonder how long it'll take us this to get into one of the Islanders, Mark's out in Long Island.
Pretty quick, I would
They'll be
imagine.
out
Oh
tomorrow.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, tomorrow. Yeah. That's great. Let's check out some more new releases. Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about? Anything interesting that you've seen
Oh wait, go
lately?
back up to that Type 20. Is it still? Yeah. See, that's
You like these, don't you, Rob?
yeah. I have the 21, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
moving it for another Type 21. Solely because the bezel on the dial on the Type 21 is too much dead space.
Mm-hmm.
Got to me. It's got to
Yeah.
go. And I'm moving on to the other Type 21, the 3817, which has the larger numerals. The dial is just much more well planned out.
Yeah.
And I used to think it was washed out. It looks a little washed out. But now I've come to a point where I was like, this is actually a really good looking watch. I should have just went this route instead of the 21. So,
Right.
one goes, the other, one goes out, another one comes in.
Yeah. These are handsome watches. These Type 20s and 21s per guys
20s
for sure.
just look better.
Yeah.
Just overall. But it's 39 millimeter. It doesn't really, and the shorter lug, it doesn't look well on my wrist. So,
Yeah.
I had one of those. It
such
wears
is life.
high also. It's a little bit. It wears a little high on the wrist as well. I had it on a NATO strap though, which.
Oh yeah, it's gonna add to it. Yep.
Let's see what Hodinky's got over here. Anything new on their end?
That new Boulevard parking meter came out.
Where is that? Did I pass it? Or is
I
it
don't
on?
know. I don't know.
Is it
I
not
don't
on
know.
here?
I don't think he's covering it.
Let's just do this new.
It's kind of funky looking.
I got to see it when I went to Boulevard in April, and they had it. They had a non-working prototype, but it's a quartz, and they had like the original one, and they had the. I just posted a video of it on my Instagram today.
Well, then, Boulevard
Parking meter.
parking. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually a good looking watch, but I wish they would come out with it in automatic. I don't know why they didn't do that.
Worn and Wound has an article on it.
This is it right here?
The exclusive on it too.
There you go. That's it.
I when I was a kid, I was walking down the street with my dad, and I was talking to him, and I wasn't paying attention. I walked right into a parking meter, and I was just like, I was like the right height where my
Ooh.
head hit the parking meter,
Yeah.
and it was crazy. I must have been concussed because when I went home, like I threw up, and I had a high fever, and then I went
That's
to
definitely
sleep.
concussion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You should have went to the hospital.
Yeah, but I mean, like nobody believes in. I mean, concussions weren't even invented in the
Yeah,
mid
that's true.
'80s,
That's
right?
true.
Then
Yeah.
So, yeah.
that was
Anyway.
the rub some dirt on it days.
Yeah, exactly.
You're fine. Let's get moving. Get in the car.
This one's kind of odd for me. I don't know. It's too retro. I don't know.
So this is okay. So I understand. So this is a chrono. So you have the two, the crown on top here at the 12 and the crown at the bottom. Um, and the pushers was it like a bull's head, a
Yeah,
bull's horn?
bullhead.
Yeah, bullhead. Okay.
But
Yeah,
why is there
remember.
two crowns? I don't understand the two crowns.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I like the Citizen version better. Citizen bullhead's a nice one.
Oh, you're talking my language, with Citizen. Been a huge Citizen fan these last couple of months.
Are you guys? Are you excited about the Citizen Challenge ProMaster coming out?
I haven't heard about it.
I don't know about that one.
This
Challenge.
is gonna kill. I think it's gonna be. I think Citizen are doing things that are really gonna challenge. Not to no pun intended, but challenge the Seiko norm. They're doing things without QC issues, and I think you put amazing.
Amazing. I didn't mean to do that. I think I heard you say the word amazing, and then I just
Sorry.
I just typed it in. Are you talking about this green one?
No, scroll up. I think my video is probably there. I did a video on it when it came out.
This one right here?
Yeah, it's the middle video.
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah, it's a remake of a 1970s diver that they took inspiration from a dive watch that actually was found in I think it was like washed up on shore. It was like barnacled and whatever.
Oh,
and it was
yeah.
still working. That was their whole thing. Like, it was
Yeah.
Oh my god.
there's a good picture of it. I got to try this on.
Titanium,
It's
huh?
phenomenal. On the bracelet, I believe it's in super titanium. It's going to be under $1,000, and it gets a Miyota 9000 series, which is I like the Miyota 9000 series. So, I think that I don't know why they haven't made this watch. It just blows my mind.
Right.
They can make this watch. There's not going to be any QC issues because they don't suffer from that. This is $1,000. This is going to blow. So many other, Seikos out of the water at that price point. And then, on the secondary market, these will sell for $500-$600.
What's the is it a 40 or 42 or
It's 40 millimeters.
40 millimeters?
I guess that would directly compete with the Shogun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is a couple $100 more.
Yeah, but it has a first off, it has a sapphire crystal.
Mm.
It has a case that's more traditional.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the SBDC 061 or the that SBDC line of with the crown at the 4 o'clock, but those retail for $1,200 and $1,300. This is retailing for $1,000, which is not a big difference, but you also get a 9000 series, which I feel is nicer than a 6R movement.
Yeah, so you're saying these guys are direct competitors with the Mini Marine Master, basically the 200 MMs. Yeah. Which is I like that watch, the Mini Marine Master. I just had the Save the Ocean, the SBDC 167. Great watch, great looking watch, but $1,250, $1,250, 300, $1,300. You're right, and this is. I'm rooting for Citizen, right? At this point, right? They don't get as much love here or as much respect as they do in Japan, for instance. Like the watch I have, this one right here, the Citizen, you can't get that here really in the States. I had to go find it, from a Japanese seller, and this is direct competition with like a Grand Seiko 9F, an entry level quartz movement watch, you know what I mean, and a little bit less than that, and it's titanium, Siratsu polishing, perpetual date on here, and the eco drive, and I would like to see a little bit more of that come here stateside, and get their full catalog out here, because I think a lot of people, when they think Citizen, not us, but a lot of people, your average one watch guy or gal, I mean, they think a Citizen is probably, this the stuff that Eli Manning was slinging a few years ago, and it's nothing to write home about.
Yeah. Well,
I'd much rather, yeah. So go ahead.
No, it's good. Yeah.
Paul saying I'd much rather have the Miyota 95.1 over the Seiko 6 releases. Peter C likes it. Citizen is just too pedestrian for me. I do like this watch, but sounds a bit bland. Peter
I
agrees
think they
with
have to
Paul.
come out with something like this first, and then they could do something a little bit glitzier, let's say.
I think Citizen's problem is the stank from all the Macy's junk. They need to differentiate. They need to rebrand all those to something else because.
But Seiko, they do the same.
Seiko has that too, but they have different. They name it something else. They'll call it Alba or something like. They have all those, but it's.
Yeah. This also gets a on-the-fly micro adjust, which is technically not on-the-fly micro adjust. It's one of those clasps that have the built-in, like the built-in diver's extension. But you could move it out a millimeter and it won't look bad. And it's actually the one that I handled was finished very nicely. So
excellent. Well, I'm going to keep that definitely on my radar because
It's not bad looking.
I'm liking Citizen these days. Well, gentlemen, it's a little bit after 10 o'clock. Roth, thank you so much for joining. Good to see you. I know you're gonna
be back.
I know you're gonna do a little bit more traveling, but you're always open invitation for you always.
I'm here for the next 2 weeks. So yeah, anytime you need another head, I'll be on.
Yeah, excellent. Dan, thanks again. Congratulations on your Formex clasp. And Chris, man, you're the man, dude. Again, open invitation for you anytime you want. Really appreciate you coming on. You do a really good service for the watch community, and I enjoy your stuff. I really do.
Thank you.
Chat, thank you for joining us. You guys make the show. Really, really appreciate it. Sorry I didn't get too much to the comments today, but I promise I'll do a better job next time, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Have a good night.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.